Hello, my name is Jordan Rovney. This is the first in a series of videos in which I present a real-world problem and attempt to use Microsoft Access to solve that problem. I've been building and developing Access databases for a number of years, and I thought it was time for me to share some of the things that I've learned in all that time with you. So before I begin any kind of Access development, there are some features that I like to make sure are enabled. So first, I'll go to the File menu. Under Options, Current Database, I always make sure that the Enable Design Changes for Tables in Datasheet View is unchecked. This is an option in which you can make design changes to tables when they're open in Datasheet View instead of the tables being opened in Design View. This was a feature introduced by the Microsoft Access team in 2007, and it's an annoying feature, so I always recommend that just be unchecked. The next two things I uncheck are the Perform Name Autocorrect and Track Name Autocorrect options. These are notoriously buggy. If you wanted more information on these two, there is a well-known Microsoft Access blogger named Alan Brown, and he has a whole article devoted to why these two items should be unchecked. In Object Designers, I like to make sure the default text field size is set to 50 instead of the default 255 when you first start Microsoft Access. And the auto index on import and create, there's usually some text here, and that indicates to Access that you want it to auto create indexes on certain columns when the columns have a name matching anything in this box here. I tend to prefer to be in complete control over when indexes are created, so I make sure that this box is blank. So now that we've done that, we want to go to our Visual Basic Editor. There's some options in here I like to have configured. First of all, here is a compile button, and if you ever do any kind of serious Access development, you're going to want to be able to get to the compile button very quickly, and by default, Access does not have a compile button listed on the toolbar. So you have to go to Debug and click Compile. This gets annoying when you're having to compile the project a number of times and you spend a great deal of time in the Visual Basic Editor. To get this button here, you go to Add or Remove Buttons, Customize, and then you go to Debug, and here's the Compile Project button, and you can drag it onto the toolbar. Next, we go to Tools, Options. This Require Variable Declaration checkbox should always be checked. This way, Access will require that any variables you create were declared ahead of time. Finally, the editor format. If you spend a large amount of time in the Visual Basic Editor, the white background can become kind of difficult on the eyes. And I spent multitudes of hours in this particular screen, and I found a deep blue background is much more of a soothing background to have for this editor. So for the normal text, we could change the background to this dark blue, and the foreground to a white. The selection text, we can change the background, in this case, to white, and the foreground to black. Syntax error, background to blue. Execution point text is fine the way it is. The breakpoint text is fine the way it is. The comment text, we want to change that to blue. The keyword text, we can change the background to blue. And I like the foreground to be changed to this light green color right here. The identifier text, I like to change the background to blue and the foreground to this lighter green color here. And the bookmark text and the call return text I leave alone. So when we take a look at a module, you see you have this, this darker blue color. and I can assure you this will be much easier on your eyes if you spend a great deal of time in this particular screen. And if you're a serious developer and you want to become a very seasoned professional developer of Access solutions, you will indeed spend quite a bit of time in this window. Well, that concludes this tutorial. There will be more videos in this series in which I present a real-world problem and attempt to solve that problem using Microsoft Access. And of course, along the way, I will explain uh, different kind of features that I'm using and some background and things like that. So it'll be educational as well as useful at the same time. Again, my name is Jordan Rovney, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.